Thank you for joining us today. This is Jessica Manning from the TSpot Daily for another episode of Trans Perspectives. I'm here with a local Charlotte trans woman, Jocelyn Diggs, to give her perspective on her experiences as a trans woman, trans issues, and transition-related information. So Jocelyn, how are you doing today?
I am doing really good. How are you doing?
Good.
Awesome.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm 25 years old, and I'm a makeup consultant.
Awesome. Every girl needs her paint.
Indeed.
So when exactly did you start transitioning?
I actually started transitioning a year from today. Well, a year and 3 months from today.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's been a really interesting journey. But
So around transitioning, did you previously, you're taking hormones for a while before you started presenting as a woman, or?
yes, I was self-medicating for I think 3 months or so. I do not recommend that. But for me, that just kind of happened that way.
Mm-hmm.
After I did that, I did go see my doctor and I started hormones, and that was really important.
Awesome. Did you actually have any sort of difficulty obtaining hormones? I know a lot of people around the world, especially in the UK right now, where people are waiting like 5 years to get their hormones.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any sort of issues or barriers that you had to overcome?
No, it was actually really easy for me to obtain them. No difficulties, no struggles.
Good, awesome. I know that, a lot of times there's issues with healthcare providers not necessarily feeling comfortable. Did you, whenever you went to go see your healthcare provider, did you feel as though they were comfortable and knowledgeable about the subject and respectful about how they, dealt with you?
Absolutely. My physician, he was really cool and relaxed, and he knew a little bit, and I also guided him along the way too.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of just came in the middle ground,
Mm-hmm.
and we helped each other.
Awesome. That's actually a really great opportunity as far as for healthcare providers,
Mm-hmm.
getting that chance to interact with a trans person,
That is true.
but at the same time not treat us as if we're science experiments.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because a lot of times, there's a lot of questions and prodding and stuff that can make a lot of us a little uncomfortable.
That is true.
But it's great to have that learning experience. So what kind of emotions would you describe having whenever you took your first hormone injection?
I felt like I was on top of the world. I thought it was everything, and I don't know. I was extremely happy.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that I always wanted to do, and I felt relief. So it was exciting.
Good. So what kind of advice would you give other trans girls or trans guys who are just beginning their transition?
Basically, make sure this is what you really want to do. This is a very difficult thing. It's not peaches and cream. It's not easy. I'm not going to lie to you. But basically, make sure it's what you want to do. Really do your research and just make sure.
As far as living as a woman now and, obviously being, very beautiful. So as far as living as a woman, what kind of experiences do you have that you weren't expecting to have as a woman?
Well, I can say that I'm slightly privileged in somewhat. I can kind of blend in a little bit, not so much. I mean, I do get clocked every now and then. And clocking is basically someone figuring out your teeth, if anyone didn't know that. And I don't know, it's kind of easy, kind of hard. Some days are good, some days are bad. So it just depends on the situation and where you are.
Okay. Would you consider yourself to have passing privilege for that?
Yeah, somewhat.
So, during your transition, were there any emotional changes that you had that you weren't really expecting?
Absolutely. Hormones will put you through it. Emotionally, I wasn't not necessarily as strong-minded, but kind of in between. Like, they kind of not necessarily mess with your head, but like they, it takes a toll on you. You've got to second guess things. It's like, wow, this is really happening.
I know you definitely are strong-willed. So.
Thank you.
I know that's always a great thing, especially throughout this process when you have, society or family or anything like that really pressuring you in the opposite direction.
Right, that is so true.
So I know that's a really great thing to have. Do you feel as though you experienced any sort of pressure from, the trans community or from, societal standards of how a woman is supposed to look?
Absolutely, especially in this community and just in society in general. It's supposed to be like this standard, this thing that is not really nothing label. I don't really know what to say about that, but yeah, just on Facebook and other social media things, people, always trying to force surgery this. You have to look this, you have to look real, but it's really not any of that stuff. You be who you want to be, and that's what's really matters. So.
Exactly. I mean, the whole point of transitioning is to find your own truth and live in your own truth.
That is true.
It's kind of difficult doing that whenever you have, others telling you that your truth is wrong compared to their standards. But it's definitely freeing to be able to stand up and say, this is me. Some days I'm a little lazy and I want to wear sweatpants and have my hair up in a bun.
And that's okay.
So, what sort of response did you receive from your family as far as your transition?
Well, at first they thought it was a joke, and I was like, no, it's not happening. And I made it very, I was like, no, this is real, this is happening, this is who I am, and they don't understand it, they still don't understand it. And, sometimes it gets to me, like, really bad, want to have that connection to your mom and dad, and you can't do that because they don't understand and they're not wanting to understand. So again, just going back to the other question, like about the whole experience with the whole trans thing, like you gotta make sure you really want to do. You're gonna have some battles that you can't win. Some people's going to agree with it, some people are just not. So you just gotta somewhat come up and just get over that hurdle.
Is there any advice that you would give to other trans people as far as putting on that armor for dealing with the rest of the world as far as emotionally?
Some can take it, some can't. I just stay positive, keep going. Things will definitely get better. Definitely. Don't give up. Please don't.
And what about any goals? Do you have any goals set in your life that are coming up?
I have personal goals. I mean, nothing like too major, but just personal goals.
Personal goals. Okay. Is there one particular milestone in your transition that really stands out and really makes you proud of who you've become?
Well, I haven't met that milestone yet, but eventually I do want to get GRS, so that's like later down the road, but that's something I've been thinking about a lot lately, and it's something I do want to persist towards.
And GRS, that is gender reassignment surgery?
That is correct.
And that's the same procedure as SRS, and it usually involves, of course, the actual vaginoplasty and then sometimes labiaplasty.
That's correct.
Couple other procedures in there, so I know that's got a lot of different doctors involved, and I know there's a lot of risks associated with that. Do any of the risks make you nervous, or?
Somewhat, but when you really want something in life, sometimes you can just set things aside and actually get it done. But will I be nervous? Absolutely.
Yeah. Were you relieved or happy whenever you woke up from your augmentation?
Yes. I mean, it was kind of. Well, when I first woke up from my breast aug, I was kind of just weirded out because just being asleep and stuff. But after like a couple of days, things were okay. I mean, I felt like another chip was off, and I was able to live my truth.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wanting my appearance to match the inside and vice versa. So, I mean, I was definitely very happy, and I still am.
As a trans woman, do you find yourself becoming more comfortable as far as social interactions? I know that when I transitioned at first, I was extremely nervous anytime, like I would go days where I just wouldn't speak a word in public just because I was worried I'd get clocked.
Yes, I did feel that way at first, but again, you really have to go in this world, and I still, have to work on this myself, but just not giving a crap what people think, and just living your truth. And again, like I'm still learning that, but it takes time, and I think I answered that correctly.
Okay. Right. Well, thank you so much for coming and speaking with us today. We really did appreciate this. No problem. I love getting your perspective, especially as a trans woman in the South and a trans woman of color.
Yeah.
That's definitely a large perspective that is often, omitted from the media. So it's great to actually have those perspectives and have people who, have real experiences to talk about like that.
again, thank you for having me. That was awesome.
No problem. Well, thank you to the viewers for watching. This is Jessica Manning with the TSpot Daily for the Trans Perspectives episode with Jocelyn Diggs.
Bye.